Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another video. I'm really excited about this speed build and about this build in general because this build was created for a wonderful collab by the talented SatiSims. She created the Simhain Halloween Collab and she asked me to join. I think that this was back in April or May, which was super early, which was just super cool. I thought it was super interesting that someone is already thinking about Halloween in spring, and I'm obsessed with Halloween and anything spooky, so I really liked that she was kind of thinking about this type of collab already. So of course I joined. I love Halloween, I love SatiSims, and I love group collabs because it's always very interesting to work so closely with other simmers. And of course she also asked some other simmers to join, and part of this collab are SatiSims, Samaki, Amber Light, Simoniona, Miss Yulunik, Angie Does The Sims, Simsbiosis, and me. And I'm really excited to be a part of this collab because there is just so much talent in this collab. Just look at this picture here. All these avatars were created by Amber Light for this collab. So she surprised us with this. She just created all these avatars. She took a look at the profile pictures that we were all using on Twitter, and then she just created these, and it's just so beautiful. She put so much work and love into this, and I was just blown away. So I just wanted to show off her amazing work. So please make sure to check out Amber Light and her wonderful work and her builds, and of course all the other builds that were created for this collab by all these simmers here. You will find all the links in the description box down below. Some of these simmers don't have a YouTube channel but a blog, for example. So I will link everything down below so you can check out the videos and the builds, the gallery, the blogs, just everything. I can totally recommend it. I was blown away by the talent in this collab, and then just seeing that someone creates all these avatars, and then someone created a really fun intro for their video, and SatiSims created a trailer. There was just so much work and love in this collab. So this was a really unique and fun experience for a group collab like this. Alright, but let's talk about the build. I just had to shower all these wonderful people with all the love that I have to give because I'm just blown away. I just have to say it. I just feel honored when I can be a part of a collab like this, and all these simmers deserve all the love. So the build, I built this on a 30x20 lot, which, as you guys know, is kind of uncommon for me. SatiSims picked out this area, this district of Windenburg for the collab, and then we were all able to pick a lot, and I was able to get my hands on this very precious 30x20 lot. I was lucky that I didn't have to build on a even smaller lot because it's super difficult for me. I have to admit that I struggled at first. I knew that I would like to build a spooky mansion. Some of the simmers in this collab created some really out of the ordinary, unique kind of fantasy builds, but I wanted to stay within my typical theme and I wanted to create a spooky mansion. I just felt like doing that. For some reason this October I didn't create any other spooky builds. You guys know that I love Halloween, but I don't know, for some reason the months just went by so quickly. It's super weird, and I wanted to create one spooky wonderful mansion at least. So I struggled with this lot. It was too small for me. I worked on some other builds before this, and I built them in a way that I used every inch of this lot basically, so there wasn't enough space for landscaping or anything, so I had to completely get rid of it and start over. And then eventually this here was the one, and I fell in love with it. So for some reason at first I used lots of browns, so it looks more like a really typical witch cottage mansion. This is a weird thing to say, a mansion witch cottage, but I guess you know what I mean. It's like a mansion build, but it has the feel of a witch cottage with all the browns and the roofs and all the details. But then I wanted this to look more spooky, and I went a completely different route, and I changed the colors to black and white. So the whole color palette is really monochrome, really black and white, and so is the interior. I wanted this to look spooky, and this was a totally different approach, especially because I used a lot of white, which is really uncommon for anything spooky. When you think of spooky, you think of dark, but here you can see that I really used a lot of white, but because of all the details and the dark windows, it still looks spooky. It's just a unique way to approach the whole spooky theme. I think that it's especially spooky because of all the black details, and then we have these Realm of Magic windows. I'm in love with these windows. I think I've never used them in this swatch because I've either used them in the completely white swatch for builds that are not magical or spooky at all, or in the purple swatch for the Realm of Magic build that I created. So it was a lot of fun to for once use the black swatch. I also used some objects that are part of the vampire pack, especially the little statues that are on top of the roofs. And for working on the back was really difficult because this house is in front of some type of cliff or something, and as you can see, the camera is jumping around in a really weird way when you're working on the back. So I didn't record the whole process of working on the back because this is super annoying, and luckily the whole process didn't take as long as usual because this is a really compact build, so I didn't have to speed up the footage as much as it would be usual or common for a mansion build. So this is a bit slower this time. I also want to very quickly address the whole stop motion situation. So I decided to create a stop motion build. I uploaded the build and I was super curious what you guys would think, because I just think it looks really fun and I really enjoy to work on a video like this in a completely different way, because usually creating a speed build, the whole process is not really artistic or difficult. You just build the house, and this is the process that's artistic, if you want to call it that, but I guess you know what I mean. And then you technically just have to speed up the footage, you just edit it a bit, and that's it. But for a stop motion build, you build the house, that's a whole process, and then the stop motion process itself takes a lot of time and is just a lot of fun. So I just wanted to create this, and I also wanted to offer something fresh and fun for you guys, just so you can take a look if you like this or not, because I want to keep things exciting here. And stop motion builds just popped up more and more. They got really popular years ago. Even in Sims 2 people already created them, and the Sims 4 gurus created these little stop motion animations for the builds of the months. They were featured, I think, up until last year or something. They stopped at some point, and more Simmers just created more and more stop motion builds, and it became really popular. So I had a lot of fun creating them. So I've read all the comments. I haven't replied to all of them yet, but I've read all of them, and it seems like the majority of you prefer traditional speed builds over stop motion builds. And the number one reason that you guys gave me was that there's no voiceover in stop motion builds, and also you cannot see the building process, because for stop motion builds it's just a very fancy way of showing off a build. Technically you don't see anything of the build process. Technically you could pull any build of the gallery and create a stop motion build. I mean, please don't do that. Don't pull any builds of the gallery and claim it to be your own and create a stop motion build. But I guess you understand what I'm saying. It just doesn't show the process. It doesn't show how the creator actually worked on this build. You don't learn anything, you don't get any tips, and this was my number one concern even before working on this, because even though I like to watch stop motion builds because it's really pleasant and chill to watch them, you don't learn anything, you don't see anything, and this was my concern. I still wanted to show you guys a stop motion build so I could see what you guys would think. So first of all, this is still a speed build channel, so there will be speed builds. This here is a speed build, but to be honest, at least sometimes, very rarely, I would love to have a stop motion build. Really every now and then this is a speed build and tutorial channel, but I think it's still a lot of fun, and also maybe it would be cool to have a stop motion build with a voiceover. This is not common at all, I think. I haven't seen any stop motion builds with a voiceover yet, but I mean, why not? When I started this channel, I just did whatever I wanted. I just recorded building something and then I edited it. I hadn't edited anything in my life before at this point, so I just winged it. I did whatever I wanted to do and what I thought was right. So I don't care that this is not common. I think it's always fun to try something new, so why not? Maybe I'm going to try that at some point, but this is a speed build channel, so you don't have to worry about that, because some of you seem to be concerned if I would stop creating speed builds. Some of you seem to get the idea that this would be some type of stop motion channel now, but this was just a little test so you guys could let me know what you think. But I got the message, you guys definitely prefer voiceovers and speed builds, and to be honest, it made me a little happy to hear that most of you would miss my rambling here. So yeah. So for the interior, as I said, I also stayed within the whole black and white theme, which was a lot of fun. I used the vampire kitchen counters for the kitchen, and then I just used stuff from all kinds of different packs to create this black and white and grayish interior. I love this, and I'm in a old house group on Facebook, and a lot of people are super offended when people buy an old house and then they turn everything gray and white. These people hate this, and I was thinking about this when I was working on this, because usually in a really ancient house you have a lot of old natural wood and all these browns. It's very natural, and then some people apparently have the audacity to paint everything white, even the original woodwork, and some people really hate this, which I understand, but I love this look, and luckily this is just a Sims build. This is not some type of atrocity that we are committing against old ancient Victorian beautiful houses. And for the kids room, as you will see, I used some pink colors. I just wanted at least the kids room to be more friendly, some really proper kids room. So I just didn't have the heart to just have a really monochrome kids room. I wanted the kids room to look really fun. There are 3 bedrooms in total and 2 bathrooms. 1 bathroom is at the bottom, 1 at the top, and then we have 2 regular bedrooms for grown-ups and 1 kids room. Of course, as always, you could remodel this if you need 1 additional kids room. When I started this channel for all my builds, I traditionally had 1 regular bedroom, 1 master bedroom, and then only kids rooms, because this is how I always played the game. I just had the parents and then many kids, and they all had their own room. And then I noticed that some of you prefer to have some more regular bedrooms as well. I don't know, I was really stuck in this because this is how I used to play and build my houses. So here I also have a little variation going on, and there are 2 regular bedrooms, and I think the kids room turned out really cute and fun. I used some stuff from Parenthood, which is still the best pack, to decorate some kids rooms probably. And as always, you can find this build in the gallery. But more importantly, you can also find all the other Sims builds that are part of this collab in the gallery, and as I've said in the beginning, you can find all the links down below. I cannot stress this enough, you will be blown away by all the talents, so please make sure to check these amazing Simmers out. So once again, thank you that I'm allowed to be a part of this collab. Thank you so much that all of you have watched this video, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to check all of them out, and yeah, that's it. I hope I see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.